How often do we doubt ourselves when trying new ideas? That's how I feel about today's technique because I know it could lead to disastrous results. But of course, you know me. I love experimenting and I'm not afraid of a challenge. And today, I'm going to try something I've never seen done before, a glue gun on a gel plate. Yes, I know, shocking, but when an idea comes to me, I just have to try it. My initial thought is to use the stencils I created on my last video, which I will link at the end, so stay tuned, because I was too afraid to use my actual glue gun on my gel plate, as I don't want to ruin it. But don't worry, I'm still going to try it. So I roll acrylic paint onto my gel plate, and using this really cool design I created, I placed it onto the gel plate. I lift it up and press my paper onto it. And wow, the background is amazing. Okay, so now I know that works, but what about a one pull technique? I again roll paint onto the plate, place another one of my designs, but this time I press the paper through the holes of the designs to remove some of the paint. By now the yellow paint is dry, so I roll some blue paint onto the plate, press my paper, let it dry for 1 to 2 minutes, and then pull. Another amazing background. But now it's the moment of truth, trying the glue gun on the actual gel plate. So many doubts fill my head. Will it work? Will it ruin my gel plate? But I know myself, the only way to work through these doubts is to experiment and try. So I take an old mini gel plate that has been put through the ringer and test it. And to my surprise, the glue doesn't burn a hole through the gel plate. So now I want to try it on my bigger plate. But no point in creating the design on the gel plate first, as I can't put the paint over it. But will it work when there is acrylic paint on the plate? So I roll some brown acrylic paint and start creating a random design with my glue gun. I'm not thinking about the design, as I just want to see if it works. So I'm just swirling the glue everywhere and having fun. At the same time, I think to myself, wouldn't it be amazing to create something original like a flower design? So I decide that will be my next attempt, right after I see if it works. Once the glue is fully dry, I start removing it. It is easier to remove it if the glue marks are actually connected. So when you're creating your design, make sure most of the glue lines attach. That way you're removing it as a whole. Once all the glue is removed, I roll some yellow paint onto the background. I need to let that yellow paint dry on the papers first for a couple of minutes before I pull. Then when I lift the papers, it's as if the papers are peeling the paint off the plate. And the backgrounds are so unique. And you'll see what I do with them in just a bit. But what I really want to create is a flower design. So I again roll paint onto the plate. I'm using a 6x6 plate now. And once the paint is dry, I start designing my flower. You can design just about anything the same way I designed the circle images that I used at the beginning. But with this one, I ran into a little problem. Once the glue is dry, I start peeling the design off the page, but it doesn't go smoothly. The acrylic paint gets stuck to some of the glue, and more paint gets peeled than I actually want. But instead of getting upset, which would have been my initial reaction, I start analyzing the situation and realize that the flower looks distressed. And I love distressed. Once I lift it, I'm just so happy I didn't give up because the design is incredible. And I take that design and all the other backgrounds and create some beautiful, simple thank you cards. How easily we can give up when experimenting with new techniques, and how freeing it is when we just try. Like how I tried in this video right here, where I used my glue gun to create a few incredible designs that can be used as both stencils and stamps.